Let's be totally honest here. Absolutely no one enjoys the admin side of running a business, right? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're decoding the standards that are completely reshaping European finance. If you do any business in Europe, whether you're a local freelancer or an international expert juggling cross-border payments, you really need to know how the invoicing landscape is shifting. We are literally sprinting away from tedious manual data entry and heading straight toward automated, perfectly structured digital transactions.
So, here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll look at the IBAN problem. Then, the origins of the EP-QR. After that, we'll break down the anatomy of a GiroCode, explore exactly why Germany loves it, and finally, wrap up with the EU's digital future. Let's just jump right in.
Section 1. The IBAN problem.
We're kicking things off with a universally shared headache. Seriously, we have all been there. You get a PDF invoice, you open up your banking app on your phone, and then the squinting begins. You find yourself manually pecking out a massive 22-character German IBAN, double-checking every single letter and number, honestly just praying you didn't accidentally wire your hard-earned cash into the absolute void. It's slow, it's super anxiety-inducing, and frankly, it just doesn't belong in today's digital economy.
The contrast here is basically night and day. The old manual way is so incredibly prone to human error, and it eats up minutes of your life per invoice. But the GiroCode standard, it totally replaces that archaic, clunky process with a simple automated scan. It completes the whole transaction loop from opening your camera to hitting that biometric confirm in under 30 seconds. Zero typos, zero anxiety.
Moving on to Section 2, the origins of the EPC QR. Now, this solution wasn't just cooked up overnight by some random tech startup. It actually comes from rigorous, top-level institutional planning in European finance. Formally, it's known as the EPC QR code, though it's been brilliantly marketed in Germany as the GiroCode. And this is the definitive standard unifying payments. It's not just a web link disguised as a little square. It's a highly strict data package defined by the European Payments Council, containing absolutely everything your banking app needs to seamlessly initiate a SEPA credit transfer across 36 different countries.
If we trace its origins back, the European Payments Council officially published these guidelines, specifically EPC 06912, way back in 2013. That really laid the foundation. By 2018, it sparked a massive wave of adoption among banks in Germany. And looking at where we are now, this established standard is perfectly positioned to be a massive payment bridge for the upcoming EU mandates on digital invoicing that are rolling out between 2026 and 2028.
Section 3. The anatomy of a GiroCode.
Unpacking the actual technical payload of the standard is pretty fascinating because it is a total masterclass in structured formatting. Every single valid code follows a really strict multi-line text format. It has to start with mandatory tags like BCD, followed by SCT for SEPA credit transfer. It uses standard UTF-8 encoding. Then it meticulously lists out the exact name, up to 70 characters, and the exact IBAN of the recipient. Plus, there's even room for optional fields, like a specific euro amount, say EUR $150.00, or a 140-character purpose text. It's basically a pre-filled digital transfer slip, perfectly compressed.
And here is a really crucial detail. This standard has built-in resilience. The specs require exactly 15% error correction, which tech folks call level M. But what does that actually mean for you? Well, it means if you print this code on a physical invoice and it gets a little smudged, maybe folded in the mail, or you're scanning it in a dimly lit room, your phone's camera can still read it perfectly without messing up a single digit of your IBAN.
All right, Section 4. Why Germany loves it.
Germany is honestly our ultimate case study here. For any non-German experts tuning in, here's the situation in a nutshell. If you are doing business with clients in Germany, you really need to understand this, because it is absolutely everywhere over there. Almost every major German credit institution, we're talking Sparkasse, VR Banking, ING, DKB, Commerzbank, Deutsche Bank, Postbank, they have all natively integrated this exact EPC scanner straight into their mobile banking apps. And they didn't charge extra for it, they just made it a free convenience feature, which naturally drove massive mass-market adoption.
The user experience for the German consumer is just wonderfully simple, and that is exactly why it's so successful. It boils down to a super quick 3-step process. First, you open your banking app. Second, you tap the scan icon and scan the code. And third, you just review the data that instantly pops up and confirm it using your Face ID, fingerprint, or a standard TAN. Boom! Invoice paid. It's that easy.
Plus,
And compliance folks are going to love this. Because the text payload is entirely contained within the actual pattern of the code itself, generating or scanning it doesn't require pinging some central server. Zero data uploads. Your banking details stay completely local to your device. That makes it an absolute dream for European GDPR compliance and a huge win for user privacy.
Section 5. The EU's digital future.
So you might be wondering, why does this German success story matter for international freelancers and software developers right now? Well, because the rest of the continent is catching up fast, and it's being driven by new laws. The European Union has this initiative called VAT in the Digital Age, or ViDA for short. They're actively making structured B2B and B2G e-invoicing mandatory across member states, specifically to crack down on VAT fraud. And while the QR code itself isn't the sole requirement, it serves as this incredibly user-friendly interoperability layer sitting right on top of these complex new digital invoices.
With countries like France rolling out really strict regulations starting in 2026, and Germany rapidly phasing in its own e-invoicing mandates leading up to 2028, the whole landscape is literally transforming right before our eyes. The slice of the market that still relies on manual, unstructured PDF invoices is shrinking rapidly. In just a few short years, the vast majority of transactions will absolutely demand structured, instantly readable data formats.
For you, whether you're running an agency, freelancing, or managing a small business, adding a GiroCode to your current invoices is the perfect bridge between today's standard PDF and tomorrow's instant digital payment. Doing this directly translates to getting paid days faster. It means zero manual typos holding up your cash flow, and you get instant compatibility across the entire SEPA zone. It just shows your clients that you're highly professional, efficient, and totally ready for the digital age.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with something to really think about. The standards are already written, the major banks are completely on board, and the EU is actively regulating the future of invoicing. So, ask yourself, how quickly can you adapt to these European standards to keep your business moving at the speed of a single scan? Thank you for exploring this topic with me today, and keep your eyes on the future.